So today, with Specialty and myself, we have Rob Styacich. I say your last name correct?
Styacich.
Styacich.
Yep.
Now, what nationality is that?
That is Yugoslavian.
Yugoslavian. All right. My wife has Czechoslovakian and some other Slovakian in her background, so that's pretty cool. So we have Rob here. Rob and I go pretty far back. I was introduced to Rob from a good friend of mine in the Colorado area, and he's actually relocated back to the Dallas area to prosper, actually, and he's got a unique background with regards to just business entrepreneurship. I think he's traveled quite a few places, and he's lived a very numerous places for work and for various other things. So today we're going to be talking about Rob's background in printing, marketing, entrepreneurship. We're also going to be talking to Rob about family, things that he likes to do, and with Specialty, we always want to tell the stories of those that we can learn from, also that I can learn from. But it's interesting when we were just talking about just family and background and how do we build connection. And so in doing this podcast and in this video series, we really want to bridge the gap between some of the people that we meet on LinkedIn, people that we have offline relationships with, and see if we can build synergies with others within our community. So we got Rob here today, and we'll talk about kind of how you got started in the printing industry. Or did you start in the printing industry, or was it in marketing and you kind of got going? What was your first job? Let's start from there.
My first job was in Los Angeles, and I happened to be a salesperson, and I called on a lot of the printing companies.
Okay.
So it intrigued me, and I got very interested in it, and I introduced myself to the owner of a company, and the rest is history. But I would like to thank you first, Derek, for having me. It's nice to be here, and I'm looking forward to this podcast.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming. In my journey of buying a business, I think you've kind of been following me, and it's been interesting, and we've kind of talked along the way. So with regards to your first job, what kind of got you into that? Was it an introduction, or was it family, friends? How did you get going there?
It was friends. You know, the owner of the two companies were good friends, and through a series of introductions, one thing led to another, and he provided me with an opportunity as what I would call a sales trainee.
Okay.
Over 25 years ago.
Wow. So what was your job? What were you needing to do in that position?
I started out as just really as a sales assistant to help the other salespeople with their projects and with their customers. And through that, I learned the business and became a sales executive with the company. And my sales grew very quickly, and it was a great company, and it was a great learning ground for the future.
Gotcha. And so, what was your next step into the business world? What was the next business that you took on?
So I left that company and went to work for more of a national company.
Okay.
And since then, I've worked more on a national basis than what I would say a regional basis. So we worked with companies like Mercedes-Benz and ExxonMobil, large companies that had multiple offices around the country.
Okay.
And we basically produced their marketing materials, from brochures to annual reports to mailers. So it was a lot of very high-end work, always on the higher end of the spectrum from a printing perspective and a quality perspective.
And what city were you in?
I started in LA, and then after I went to work for the second company, I was promoted to vice president of sales for them and moved back to Cincinnati.
Gotcha.
So back to the kind of the home ground where I grew up, which was northern Ohio, but that was in southern Ohio, of course.
Gotcha. So did you always kind of have the sales chops, or was it something that you were studying on, or did you always just kind of have an innate ability to communicate at a high level?
I've been really lucky and blessed. I've worked for great companies that have provided me the support I need to be successful, and that really has made it easy. So I consider myself a pretty warm person, and I enjoy meeting people and spending time with people. So it's worked out well.
No, I say that because I kind of learned from the school of my dad, where he was regional sales manager and district sales manager for Pfizer for many years. So I just kind of looked at how he approached just, relationships and different people. And then, it's kind of perpetually learning, just reading books and Zig Ziglar and those kind of things. Was there anything that you kind of did to hone your chops, or was there people that you kind of looked at to say, hey, I wanted to mimic them, or do you kind of felt like you just kind of blazed your own path and said, hey, look, I want to do this, and just kind of had an innate ability to be a good sales guy?
I'm a big fan of Zig Ziglar first, but I really have a couple of mentors in my life that have been had a very profound impact on me. And a lot of times I'll think back and I'll say to myself, what would Bob have done, or what would Rudy have done, because they were so successful and they were really strong entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
And two things that always stuck in my mind with those gentlemen was that their integrity and their ethics behind the business. They had an innate ability to always make the right decision or do the right thing, and that really is pretty special in today's world. So I really try to operate under those same guidelines.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I think it's always good to have someone that you can lean on or ask questions, because when you're kind of going through the corporate journey, right, and you either have someone that's kind of pulling, as they're moving up, they're pulling you along with them, or you're either getting fast track based off of what you're doing as well. So that's good to know. So as you were with these organizations, was it the same organization, or you were people grabbed you and brought you to other organizations with them?
So I've had a few different jobs, and I think I've strategically moved for the most part. There were a few missteps in there along the way, but you always learn from those too.
Okay.
But along the way, I've had both a sales and an operations background, so that has sort of given me the basis for the entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So I've grown through those experiences, and I just felt like it was really time for me to be on my own.
Gotcha. And so with your background and so forth, you have lived in a lot of different cities. Just kind of changing gears a little bit, what was your favorite city and why?
It's hard to put a favorite to it. We really love the Dallas area. We love Texas. We spent the majority of our adult lives in Texas. But LA was pretty special too. As a 20-something-year-old, it was a great place to live, and I actually met my wife there. And we ironically were both from Ohio, and we met in a small bar in Manhattan Beach, California.
Oh wow, I love Manhattan Beach. There's a place there called the Strand. I don't know if you've been there.
I have been to the Strand.
Okay, it's one of my favorites. It's 2-story right there on the beach. It's beautiful. But
was there not too long ago, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. So Manhattan Beach, you lived there in your 20s till like mid-20s or late 20s?
We left California in '94, so I was in my early 30s.
Okay. Man, so I'm sure selling a property, did you own or did you rent out there?
We owned.
Oh, wow. So you made a healthy selling anything out there and then moving to the Midwest. That was a king's ransom. So from there, where did you move to? You moved to
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati,
yeah.
Okay. And then you lived there for?
We were in Cincinnati about 9 years too.
9 years, okay.
And then from there to Texas.
So when you relocate, because I've relocated 4 or 5 times as well, how long does it take you to kind of really get in the rhythm? For me, it took like 2 to 3 years to really feel like I was a part of the community. I don't know if you've lived here in Prosper just a couple months now, and you lived in Allen previously. And does it feel the same way? Or are you able to adapt pretty quickly to?
I'd say I don't think quite 2 to 3 years, but I'd say 1 to 2 years before it really starts to feel like home. But we moved from Dallas to Colorado, and now back to Dallas, and we enjoyed Colorado. It was a great place to live, beautiful country, but Dallas really feels like home. Yeah,
the pace, Colorado's pace. I love it as a vacation place, but when I visit yourself and then I visited a good friend of mine, it's just so slow, I mean, it's just a very laid back, feels very much like Asheville or Portland or just those communities that are just, the pace is different. And in Dallas with I don't know if it's the traffic, I don't know if it's just the business acumen of people. I mean, everybody's obviously in different markets have their own way, but
right.
Dallas feels very, very much more suitable to my speed of life. Have you ever lived in urban, like downtown areas, like urban areas?
I have not. We've pretty much always been in the suburbs of any city that we've lived in.
Okay.
And that really, that was driven by my wife's decision.
Gotcha. So going back to the business world, and in your new endeavor with entrepreneurship, have you ever had any background of owning your own business in previous side hustles or anything like that?
No, I have not. You know, I would say I've considered myself an entrepreneur all my life. The companies I've worked for, you have to be a self-starter when you're in sales. So from a certain degree, I've been on my own for a lot of years, but you know, now it truly is you know, my business, and I'm really enjoying it.
Got it. So in your journey of finding your new business, was there other opportunities that you looked at within this new process, I guess entrepreneurship that you're in? Was there other businesses that you looked at before you selected this one, or was it just kind of fate and you both found each other?
No, I did. I looked at a lot of different businesses, some of which I liked and some of, you know, which I thought were great opportunities. But when it came down to it, having so much experience in the print/marketing world, this one made the most sense.
Gotcha. And so this business has been around. What's the name of the business?
The business is Metro Finishing.
Metro Finishing. Okay.
And the business is, he's been in business or was in business for 22 years before I bought the company from him. And I like to call it one of Dallas' best kept secrets.
Yeah, I would agree with you. When you were telling me about it previously, I was like, wow, I didn't realize they do that. And so what all type of printing does it do?
We're basically a finishing business, print services, and we work with local print vendors and then work with some clients directly.
Okay.
And we produce very high-end corporate invitations, wedding invitations, corporate collateral pieces. Basically what we do is we foil stamp, die cut, emboss, fold, glue. We have a small packaging line, so we're pretty diverse.
Okay.
And then we're really willing to take on everything. The part of the business that really want to expand is just calling it general print services. With my background and my history in the print industry and the relationships I've built, there really isn't a product out there that I couldn't get produced for one of our customers. So we just want to expand our services overall.
Gotcha.
Basically what we want to do is do more for our customer base.
Gotcha. And so is there, are you finding that there one sector that is kind of drawn to you at this point, or weddings, or is there an industry that you're working with more as of late?
I'd say the majority of our customers are printers.
Okay.
But as I look,
more of a B2B.
Yeah, as I look at the products we produce, I think there's a tremendous amount of opportunity. And 30 days in, I haven't really decided, you know, what the first area of focus is. I expect within 60 days to have rebranded the company.
Okay.
And be a little more focused. And our website is now up, and it's in its infancy, but we'll continue to expand upon that and show the different services that we offer.
Well, gotcha. Is your family involved in the business?
My wife is a vice president in the company, and she will let me know that and keep me in check. But none of the other, I have 3 children, and none of them are currently involved in the business.
Gotcha. With your 3 children, are they in school? Or are they in the area of the Dallas area?
So my oldest son is here in the Dallas area. He lives in Frisco, so he's not too far from us.
Okay.
Our daughter ended up staying in Colorado and works as a marketing director for an interior design firm out there. And our youngest son will be starting college here in North Texas in the next couple weeks.
Oh, that's great. Do they have any signs of wanting to be entrepreneurs themselves?
I think they do. They have a little bit of that from their father, and you know, we've always taught them to be independent. So we'll see what avenue they go down with their careers.
Gotcha. So, what challenges do you see in the next year of starting a business? I know I've experienced just coming from the corporate world for the last 20 years, just doing same processes that were already built, now creating your own processes that you feel like is best suited, and then also learning from the people that you're that you're taking in as far as you're buying the company and trying to grab some of the culture that was here and then create your own culture? What's some of the challenges that you feel like you may come across in the next year?
Yeah, I'm really feel very good about the team I have. Most of the team has been with the company a very long time.
Okay.
So they really understand the processes and the customers. So, that is puts a really solid base out there for the growth that I want to go out and gain with the company as far as growing overall sales. Challenge may be managing, some of the business, depending on how fast we grow. But we haven't had much of a sales effort at all,
okay.
And that's really my strength. So I'm out there beating the streets right now, talking to potential new customers.
Okay.
From an equipment standpoint, our equipment's in great shape, and we have plenty of capacity. So, there may be some challenges finding, qualified people that understand the craft. Because interesting thing about what we do is many, many things in the printing industry have been changed by the onset of computers, but with what we do, it truly is a craft.
Gotcha.
There's heat and pressure and different things that are applied to make it look proper and make it look award-winning, so to speak. So
right.
Our guys really understand the craft of the business.
That's good to know. Because it is such a unique business, is there much competition here locally, or is it national that your kind of competitors are in?
No, it's more of a local situation right now. But
okay.
As we grow, I think we can take some of the business on a national perspective from the print services side of things.
Okay.
But the local market and print finishing I think it will be mainly supported locally, not nationally. The turn times in today's world just don't allow to ship product around and then ship it back. There's just not an extra day or two for shipping. Gotcha. Our typical job is turned in 24 to 48 hours.
Gotcha. So, obviously myself we're just going through this, and as you mentioned, just the amount of jobs that we have taken on it's great. You're trying to find new talent. We're going through that right now as we speak. We're doing great. We're still maintaining a high quality of service, but trying to balance growth and quality, it definitely poses these challenges for us, especially. Is there things that you do in the free time that you enjoy doing?
Oh, sure. I really enjoy spending time with my family and love to stay fit and stay active. Love to get out and get some exercise in the mornings or evenings or whatever. But
yeah.
Right now, I'd say the business has pretty much consumed my time, and I am enjoying that. It's been a lot of fun in the first 30 days.
Yeah. You mentioned you went and run this morning. Do you just run through your neighborhood, or you run on treadmill, or how do you do it?
So I'm running through the neighborhood right now, and I've charted a little course, and that typically is between 3 and 4 miles, and I always enjoy that good morning run before work.
Got it. It's best to do it early in the morning, because you can't even run late in the evening without breaking out in a crazy sweat, unless you go like 10 o'clock, which I've seen people do as well. I personally work out either very early in the morning or extremely late in the evening, but trying to find a good balance of what previously I used to work out extremely late in the evening just to kind of decompress. But now my brain just won't stop just from trying to figure out what's the next move. So I'm trying to get more into that early riser workout. So I do about 50-50. I still can't get rid of my night workouts. Is there anything that that you like to talk about or convey with regards to the services that you're wanting to get into, possibly move into? I'm not as familiar with the print industry as I am with some of the other industries. Is there are some other areas that, as you mentioned, you're looking to kind of evolve into, other than what you're currently doing? Yeah,
there's some specialty services that I've been looking at even in the first 30 days, and one of those is laser treatment. You can laser graphic, you can laser paper, and you can laser other types of materials.
Okay.
So I think a laser is something we'll look into down the road. And then there's other real specialty print finishing types of processes. One is edge beveling, which is very unique for invitations.
Okay.
Provides a 45-degree angled beveled edge along the side of a very thick invitation.
Okay.
And many people like that look. And then there's a process called gilding, which applies foil stamping to the edges of a book or of paper or of business cards.
Okay.
So that's something else we're looking into. We're just looking at areas where we could expand our services that would better serve our clients.
So you're really looking more into these niche markets versus it being something that you get from a Vista printer. I mean, they, I'm sure, do something to that degree, but just very niche oriented in the printing industry.
Right. Real high end, you know, high quality. That's what we do, and our attention to that is, I think, second to none as far as a company goes. And you know, we're going to maintain that. I've told all of our customers, we're going to be the same company we were last year, the year before that. We're going to continue servicing you and providing you with great service and great quality at a reasonable price.
That's good.
You know, we don't want to get away from our core values.
Gotcha. So I really appreciate you coming by. I think as we always have conversations just around business and so forth, it's always interesting to get different perspectives. Traditionally on the specialty show, we've had all different. We had a guy that owns several plumbing franchises, and then he's now got the Uber for plumbers. Now he's running a kind of a software platform for other service industries that kind of come through, which is very nice because a big resource is kind of the overhead of having someone answer the phone in that. And so now you have an app. Prior to that, we had a gentleman on that had kind of the open door, a solution that wouldn't take you out of your home. So if you were having difficulties, you know, financially, they would kind of come in, get your house fixed up and sell it and split the difference with you on your home payment. So try to have some different entrepreneurs on the show, and obviously you fit right in. Friend of the family, and coming down from Colorado, I wanted to have you on just to kind of talk about what you had going on, and then maybe what we do in a year is have a recap of just how you've grown and expanded, and just kind of keep us abreast of what you're doing.
No, Derek, that sounds great. I've really enjoyed watching you and your success. It's been fun. So we'll look forward to getting together again with you in another year or so.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Rob.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for coming by.